Hi, this is David Hanson, and I wanted to talk to Doug Wilson real quick. He's a pastor out of Moscow, Idaho, and he has a lot of cool insights, really interesting points that he makes about politics and culture and theology, and he's a very sharp man, very smart man. I appreciate a lot of the things he says, and I've actually interviewed him a few times. Very good conversations each time. But recently he seemed to suggest that he didn't like Ron Paul because of his abortion stance. And I've seen him say in other times that I think he's leaning towards Rick Santorum as his candidate of choice in the Republican primary. And I think he's a little misguided on this. So I'm asking Doug for clarification. Perhaps he can set the record straight, or maybe he can see that maybe Rick Santorum isn't the best candidate for dealing with the pro-life issue. You see, Ron Paul has introduced a bill each time he's been in Congress called the Sanctity of Life Act, which simply says this: life begins at conception, and the federal courts will no longer have jurisdiction over dealing with issues regarding abortion. So what this would do is it would send it back to the states, in which our constitutional form of government has devised a system in which the states and local governments would deal with violent acts such as murder and theft and those types of things. And so abortion would similarly be back to the states, and for each state to deal with this issue as they can. So why is it that Santorum is supposedly the better candidate on this issue? I don't know, because you know why? I looked into Rick Santorum, and I believe he was the second most powerful Republican in the Senate, in a time in which Ron Paul was introducing the Sanctity of Life Act, and the Republicans controlled the House, the Senate, and the White House. And with the simple majority vote on the Sanctity of Life Act, they could have repealed Roe v. Wade and sent it back to the states. This would do wonders for the cause of limiting abortion on demand at the federal level. It would do wonders for the cause of life. And yet Santorum and his Republican leaders in both houses were silent. And I think it's because we need to support candidates and statesmen who have a respectful understanding of the rule of law and who obey the rule of law. We as Christians are taught to obey the rule of law, not to be radical revolutionaries that just want to throw the law out at the nearest time for power or convenience or for emotional sentiment, even if it may be well-meaning. We have to support the rule of law. And in this case, supporting the rule of law as it is designed in the Constitution, which is our supreme law of the land in America, it would be the most effective way to deal with the pro-life issue if people like Rick Santorum and other Republican leaders put their money where their mouth is, read what the Constitution actually says about the Congress having jurisdiction over federal court review, and dealt with the Sanctity of Life Act as it should have been, instead of allowing it to not even get out of committee. That's a shame. And Doug, we've got to support candidates who understand the rule of law, not those who, while they may be well-meaning, simply don't understand how the Constitution was devised. Thanks.